Okay, today I'm going to be making a little bit of a story video. I know I haven't done one of these in a little while because I'm really bad at talking and really bad at playing Minecraft while talking. So this is actually a voiceover. If you can't tell, that's probably a good thing. Anyway, last week I actually had fun in a Zoom class. I know, shocking, am I right? Normally Zoom classes are absolute pain because it's just 1 to 2 hours of sitting there doing next to nothing and maybe working on some classwork. Honestly, I prefer classwork over just sitting there because usually when I sit there I just watch YouTube. So when I heard from my social studies teacher that we'd actually be doing something instead of just sitting there, I was all for it until she said what we were gonna do. So, if you may know, Columbus Day is celebrating that man that went across the ocean and then was like, "Oh, hey, look, I found India," but it wasn't India. It was actually like Cuba and the Central America and stuff. And then somebody made a holiday for him. Whatever. You know, you either love it, you hate it, or most people just kind of don't care. Honestly, I don't care about it. But what we are going to do is have a mock trial, all right? We are going to put every group, every party involved on trial and see who had the most blame out of all of it, all right? So there's a group for Columbus, there's a group for Columbus's men, for the king and queen of Spain, for the natives there, and society in general. Why society in general? I don't know. I think she ran out of ideas. So, a couple 4 to 5 people were assigned to each group. Oh yeah, there's also a jury but they were all volunteers, so they don't matter. Plus they were all ended up being stupid anyway. Actually, most of the people in the jury probably watch this video. So hi guys, how's it going? Don't leave in disgust. All right. Anyway, uh we were all assigned to groups and we all had to defend, or rather just not not be absolutely not be the main cause of that problem. We basically needed to convince the jury that we were not the main cause of the problem. So, the natives had the easiest part, obviously, because they were the victims of it and they probably couldn't have done anything about it, or very little to nothing. Society had a pretty easy job too. They could probably just be like, "What do you mean? Why is it our fault? We are just society, you know. We're just Renaissance and stuff." And then there was Columbus's men and Columbus himself. These two groups were going to get the most blame naturally, all right? When you think of who is the blame of the stuff that happened in Central America around then, you think of those two groups, right? Right? So we we were like all right, let's not do Columbus cuz that's going to be pain. And then she hands out the rules and spoiler alert, I get Columbus. What? Why? All right, so I'm here with my group of people. There's five of us, but one of them ends up betraying us, becoming a jury, which ends up leading to our downfall. I'll get to that later. So it's me, Henry. You'll know him from past videos, and then two other people. They didn't really do much. They kind of were just there, honestly. If they're watching this, which they might be, hey guys, you did fine. But let's be honest, me and Henry kind of carried that discussion. All right, so we're all here. Like, how in the blue hell are we gonna salvage something of this, right? How are we gonna salvage something from being 16th century Hitler, all right? So we're brainstorming a little bit and we go, what if we have the genius idea of just blaming everybody else that's not us? We're going to blame everybody. We're going to blame society. We're going to blame the king and queen. We're going to blame Columbus's men, our own men. We're going to throw them under the bus. We're not going to blame the natives because that doesn't really work because they did nothing wrong. But we're just going to blame everybody, all right? So I start coming up with all sorts of these ideas, all right? We can say that Columbus's men, there were like 5,000 of them. They could have just, if they were so good and so morally right, they could have just disobeyed our orders to do that stuff. And when Columbus did give them the order to enslave the natives, they did a lot worse stuff that we did in order. So that was a good point against the Columbus's men. The king and queen, we were going to be like, they literally funded us to make this colony, so they cannot throw us under the bus. That was one of our weaker points. Society, we were going to be like, people had colonies at the time. and that's how they were treated. I don't know, man. That's what we had, and we had no defense against the natives. We were just hoping that the natives kind of shut up and stayed quiet. They did in the end, which was good. So we a couple days go by. We write a couple of pieces, trying to brainstorm ideas, and the day of the trial arrives. We're all just like, welp, guess we're gonna be on death row. Well, turns out, no, we're not. Well, kind of. Well, yes, but actually no. So, we roll up to the trial, and our teacher's like, all right, Columbus, go first. And we're like, because we were counting on somebody else to go first so that we could immediately attack them, like going on the offensive. But then we were supposed to defend ourselves. We didn't have any points to defend ourselves. So we just kind of sat there a second, and then eventually, the leader of the society, Jackson, he agreed to be my editor. He never actually edited any of my videos, but he's a good friend of mine. Actually, he was in my first SMP video. So he comes in and starts arguing with Henry. This is good, because now we have something to argue with. Jackson does a phenomenal job and basically clears society of any of the blame. But what he also did was make it so that we start to get a little bit less of the blame, and we are under a little bit less heat. This is again good. So up next is Columbus's men, led by one of my friends that we will call I don't know. We won't call her anything. We'll just say old friend. She comes in and just goes absolutely ham. All right, but she's not attacking anybody. She's attacking her own group because she was not feeling role-playing at all. She was just like, nope, Columbus's men killed a lot of people. They enslaved a lot of people. They did a lot of crimes against humanity. You know, they deserve to die. They deserve to die, all right? So we're just like, well, there goes our job. We don't need to do that anymore. So we're kind of like, what else are we going to do? King and Queen are up next. This is where it gets interesting, because the king and queen are trying to blame us, Columbus, because they were like, yeah, we sent you to make a colony, but we never told you to enslave and kill millions. And then, bless her heart, one of the people in society come out and they start quoting a letter from the king and queen of Spain, literally saying to Columbus, kill and enslave as many of them as possible. And we're just dying of laughter. Like, I'm muted. We're muted, obviously, but we're dying of laughter because the king and queen just got destroyed by this person with a letter. And then I come in with the argument of, if you thought what we were doing was so bad, you could have stopped funding us and locked us up and cut off all of our heads back in Spain, but you didn't because you liked it and it was making you a lot of money. At this point, the king and queen were just completely ruined. They were silent for a solid like 30 seconds before we moved on, because the person from society threw him in a dumpster, poured gasoline on him, and then I dropped a match in there. All right, it was pretty crazy. That was great, and I'm also skipping over a lot of stuff here. Like, Henry did a lot of arguing in between, I think, with Columbus's men and society. Henry honestly did do a lot for the group, as did I. But you know, Henry, we're trying to skip over stuff for the sake of time. So, one last group, the Taino, whatever, the natives. And then they all have the most introverted people possible, so they make like one claim, like, yeah, we didn't do anything, and then we move on. All right, one of the people in the group that probably was watching this video as well, does have a bit of a bias towards Columbus, to the point where she kind of wasn't listening to the points we were making at all. She was just kind of like, nope, you're Columbus, nope, you're bad. And we're like, dude, we're having a mock trial. Why? We're role-playing here, dude. Come on, stop. So they make their point, we move on. Junior, he's one of my friends. He'll be in one of my videos recently, and he might have already been in videos in the past, I don't know. He was apparently about to make a point that was going to slam us, and then his mom walks in and asks if she wants lunch. So Junior just got destroyed. He doesn't get to make a point. So that means that they're done. The trial is over. Except the jury. The freaking jury. The jury needs to make a decision on what they want to do. There's people in the chat, Zoom calls have a chat, right? That are like assigning percentages to people. It's like usually it's around like the majority of the blame is on Columbus's men, and then the next most is the king and queen, and then Columbus, society, and the natives, which is good. That means that we have gone from taking most of the blame to taking almost none of it, which is good. That means we're making a really, really good argument. We're kind of confident going in, right? We're like, yeah, man, these judges, they heard so many good arguments from us. They heard us dumpstering the king and queen. Bro, we just threw them under the bus. We're doing insane. And then they hand the results back, and it's literally what everyone was talking about before the trial. Like, if you would ask somebody who you would have, or how much blame you would have assigned to each group, it would have been whatever they answered, right? So it was Columbus's men got the most, then us, Columbus, and then society, and then the king and queen, and then the natives. Like, what? What? In what world? In what world? Like, the society completely cleared their name. Us and Columbus made absolutely perfect arguments. Like, we did not mess up in the slightest. We were just like, what? Obviously, Columbus's men were all happy. They were like, yeah, we deserve all of this blame. Dude, just friggin' put us in the slammer already. The natives were like, yeah, I mean, you can't do anything with that. The natives would have been the most boring, I'd say. God, the garage is going. Anyway, so we can't change any of these results because the jury makes the final decision. So, despite the fact that we talked for 90% of the trial, making point after point after counterpoint after counterpoint after counterpoint, we still get almost all the blame. And we're like, what? What is this? What is this? This is rigged. This is rigged. And then the jury's just like, yeah, read it and weep. Read it and weep. Out of here, losers. And we're just, no, that's stupid. You're stupid. Out of here. We even yell at the jury in our Discord. We're like, you guys are terrible. You guys suck. And they're like, yeah, we know the decision was bad. We're like, yeah, why would you do us to this? Why would you do us? Obviously, like, don't take this too seriously. Like, I even said after the trial, I went, guys. I know you hate Columbus, but like, come on, we're playing roles. We are role playing. That means we're doing something that's not necessarily ourselves. So don't hate on anybody that had a different argument than you or played a different role that you might not like. All right? Because, well, I've seen what people can think. They're like, oh my God, that person is pretending to be something they're not. Disgusting. I'm going to send hate threats to them. Like, let's not do that. Don't be a loser. Don't be a piece of trash, dude. Honestly. But overall, the trial was really interesting, and 10 out of 10 would do it again. Oh yeah, it was also a Friday, so I was practically falling asleep during it, and thinking back, I didn't sound like this. I didn't sound all energetic, ready to go because it's Sunday. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, it's so nice. Feeling good. No, I sound like this. Yeah, so I mean, things were good. Well, I mean, Columbus could have been stopped by the king and queen if they had said so, because they rule the most powerful empire in the world. Nobody cared, right? I sounded like, on a scale of 1 to 10 to how dead inside I sounded like a 6.9. All right, I sounded so dead inside. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a glorious mess. It's like a car crash. You can't look away. But you want to look away, but you can't because it's just such a glorious mess. That was a terrible metaphor. That's not what I was going for. All right, so if you made it to this far in the video, please consider subscribing. I am at 68 subscribers at the time of recording this, so if you could please hit the subscribe button. I'd like to get to 69 subs because that's a funny number. and I'd like to get to 100 subs by the end of the month, or not the end of the month, the end of the year. Uh, we got a Discord server now, a public Discord server. So the link for that will be in the description. If you liked this sort of video, tell me. Tell me to do more, and if you hated it, well, you can tell me how much of a Technoblade clone I am. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's not the most original content, but it is still kind of fun for me to make, and you guys still do seem to enjoy it at least a little bit. So, yeah, I'll have more videos out soon. If this is posted Wednesday, I should have another video out Friday. And it'll be Bedrock Edition CubeCraft with Junior and Henry. I'll leave you to that. Oh, and there's lots of moaning in it. A little bit of info there. I also have some other footage for the chunk challenge template in Minecraft Bedrock that I did with a group of 8 friends total. It was 8 of us. We beat the Ender Dragon in about an hour, so that was fun. So yeah, just stay tuned for those videos. Make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss a thing. And I'll see you the next video. Yeah, see ya.